welcome to, wait, what podcast is this?
Paranormalxl.
That is right. paranormalxl podcast. Today, we are no notes, no scripts, no nothing, but empty glasses of wine because we got kind of chitty-chatty before starting.
That's okay.
And, but we're having a great time, and that's what really matters.
We always have a great time.
We do. It is. Yep.
And yup.
And
we're back.
Yeah, maybe. It's been a really long day. We're recording at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We usually record kind of first thing in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had a couple of these, and sometimes they're a little rough.
A little bit.
Now that I'm like thinking about it and talking about it right now, looking at you all scared, like, oh no, this episode's going to be horrible because it's the end of the day.
It's not. We're just tired.
We are. As Mama had to work, I had to take the kid to the doctor's office. Oh, I have a giant.
Who knew?
Yeah, I know. I know. A rapid grower is what they...
A rapid grower.
Yeah, he's a rapid
It's like
grower.
Like a chia pet.
I know. Well, he's 12. He's 5'7".
At first I thought you said rapping grower. I'm like, oh, they make those?
Oh, yeah. He does like to rap. I was going to say something, but I can't. Because I don't think it's politically correct. Not that we've ever cared before, but... So, back to Paranormal Podcast. I love saying it like that. All cheesy, like a game show host.
I know, it's fun.
It is fun.
This sounds better anyway.
It does. We're so awesome. We're just going to sit here, and you guys are going to randomly hear us talk.
Just chatter.
Yeah. Chitter, patter. Just kidding. Today we are talking about Rafiki. Just kidding.
Graffiti.
Reiki.
Reiki.
I'm going to make it so you can't say it.
Makes it sound like a singer. Enrique.
Iglesias. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. The absent healing of Reiki.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So do you know how you heal with Reiki?
Probably something with magic powers. Some fairy dust.
Oh, I love fairy dust.
Maybe a dragon's tooth. Oh man, what was it? Did I say crystals already? Probably some crystals, some healing powers.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Probably just your powers.
Well, Reiki is like a universal life force energy where literally anybody who has the attunement can...
So get yourself tuned. Not toned, tuned.
Well, anybody can draw down that life force energy and heal. His name's going to skip me, but I think it's how you pronounce it is Yusai. And he's a monk. Okay, and he's the one that kind of created Reiki. And he was teaching in his monastery, and one of his students asked him, well, if you're a healer, why can't you heal like Jesus did? So that got him thinking. And so he went up to a mountain, and he meditated. And I can't remember, it was more than 10 days, I think right around 20 days. I don't have my book in front of me.
Right.
And so each day he meditated, he got a symbol. Because he was really working and trying to connect with the universe and trying to connect with God's source to learn how to heal.
Right.
Like Jesus did. Because to him, he thought that was a good point. If he was a true healer and he was a servant of God, then he should be able to heal like that.
Right.
And so every day that he would meditate, he would sit there all day and all night and meditate. Every day he did, he got a new symbol.
Okay.
And then he would write them down until he had gotten all the information that he could. And that's what turned into Reiki, because Reiki's all about symbols. So that's the difference between energy work and Reiki. See, I know how to do Reiki, and I'm a Reiki master, but I'm an energy worker. So I literally get into the chakras, and I manipulate the chakras, and I remove the energy from the chakras, and then put in new energy and spin them in the direction where you use symbols to activate the Reiki. And you can Reiki just about anything. You can put Reiki on the walls. You can put Reiki on your tables. There's the master symbol, but you have the ones that are for, specifically for healing. And, what they teach you is to draw that on your hands and then ask for permission to heal whoever you're healing. And it's more hands-on, and you put your hands on them and you draw down the life force energy. And so that's what, when you're taking Reiki level 1, 2, and 3, those are the differences. Each time you have to get an attunement by a Reiki master. There's certain symbols they put onto your crown chakra and put into your energy of the other chakras. And then, the breath of life, not the kiss of life.
Right.
And which activates each level. Basically you take the first class and you learn the basic symbols, and you learn how to perform Reiki and the different hand positions that you do. A typical Reiki session can last up to 90 minutes. Okay. And normally you would have someone lay on their back and do Reiki that way. And then you have them flip on their stomach and do Reiki that way. Or they can sit in a chair. There's several different ways. You can even Reiki yourself. You can do long distance Reiki with dowels and a picture of the person that you're wanting to heal.
Really?
Yes. And
that's interesting.
You can...
Now, would that be... I'm sorry. Would that be a type of voodoo?
It could be, but just a happy voodoo.
Okay.
A voodoo at a happy ending.
Huh. That's interesting.
It is. But, so, there's lots of different forms and different ways of doing it, but that's kind of like the basic gist of what Reiki is. And so you take that first class, you get your attunement, and that attunement's sort of like whoever's taking the class with you, you sit in a circle, but nobody else looks while you're getting your attunement.
Okay.
It's kind of a private thing with energy, and then you're required to practice it for a little bit. You can't really practice it on other people yet, like outside of your friends and family.
Okay.
But they want you to learn how to utilize it.
Okay.
And then after the second class, that second attunement, that's when you can actually become a practitioner and start utilizing it on, your customers. And then the third one is you get the rest of the class, which you learn the rest of the symbols. Because there's tons of different symbols you could use for cancer, for back pain. Like, there's no way you could even remember all of them.
Now, do you get a book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you get a book. And the third one teaches you all the master symbols. And there's a master symbol that activates everything else.
Okay.
And the master symbol is what the Reiki master will utilize first.
Sure, yeah.
To perform your attunement. And then you get the third attunement, and then you're a Reiki master.
Now, you teach these classes, correct?
Yes.
So did you listeners hear that?
Yes, I teach the classes. Something important to remember is, for me, I feel like Reiki belongs to everybody. And it literally is God's gift to us, and everybody has the ability and the skill to utilize it. What you really need at the end of the day, period, is the attunement. Okay. You can learn the rest on your own. You just need the attunement. But a lot of practitioners, they will charge $200-$300 per class.
Right.
For each class.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
And for me personally, I think that's wrong. Because it's literally God's gift to us. We all have that right to heal like that, just as much as we had the right to breathe the air that we're sitting in. Right. And so typically my classes will run $60 for the first one, $80 for the second one, and $100 for the third one. Only because at the end of the day, I can teach you all the information and give you that part of the book, but you're paying for the attunement. Right. And it's just...
And like we've discussed
you shouldn't have
before,
to pay that much money for it.
When you, as a healer, and you know this, and then you've done your research, you've done your practice, you've learned what we're always learning. And when you get to that point when you can have your shop and do these things, like you've always said, it sucks when you see people the overcharging. And everybody, they do things to make money. It's just the world we live in. You got to look at it like that. But at the same time, though, like you just said, it's not right because it's something that we all have.
Just needs to be activated.
Get that knowledge, share it and help these people learn. I'm trying to remember exactly the words I'm looking for that you told me, because it was something about an exchange of energy. That's why you ask for money in return when you do something. I know that's your outlook on it, and I totally agree with that. But you can go down the road to a different shop, and you're getting charged $300 for even, let's just say, an hour reading. But they're the best in the world, and blah. Well, you can't tell them that they're not, but you can't tell them that they are, because this isn't anything you can physically see. The service that you're getting. Yep. So much more I want to say with that, but with the money thing, it's the exchanging of the energy. Because there has to be. There
has to be a balance, because I always felt uncomfortable charging money, but there has to be that exchange of energy to make the balance. And still, I'm told I should raise my prices for my readings because they're only $40, and a lot of places typically charge $60 to $80.
I'll say, and they're pricey.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but at the same time, doesn't feel right.
Right. Well, because if you had to do it to pay your bills, that's not right. You shouldn't. I don't think you should use your gift to have to pay your bills.
No, that's why I have a job.
Exactly. Where you keep it separated, and that's where a lot of people be like, "Well, I need to pay my bills." Well, go get a 9-to-5 job then, if that's what. To me, that's just my own opinion. If I have a listener that does that, whatever, that's cool. But if you can pull in enough business to pay your bills that's great. If you can do however many reasons, I do know it takes a lot out of you.
It does take a lot out of you.
But don't break somebody's bank because they're looking for
help.
Help, yeah. That's essentially, yeah. Because they're asking for help. Because you wouldn't stop and charge somebody $150 to help them with their flat tire on the side of the road. Because if you were gonna, you might as well just keep driving and wait for somebody that's got a heart to do it.
Yeah, really.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but when I see a lot of people, and even the groups that I'm on Facebook and stuff, I charge this and I charge this and blah, blah, blah. Well, but what are you really charging for? Like, I get, there's different services, which I totally get. We're talking about Reiki, but even with that, like Mama said, we all have the ability to do that.
We do.
It's just whether you want to ask questions or not to learn how to do it for yourself, or, take a little time out, and that's your gift to yourself, to teach yourself how to do this, or learning something new. Why not? But you don't need to break the bank while you're at it. Like, if you do find somebody and they're charging you that few $100s, do some research, background. I'd ask around, really, to find people that have taken the classes and stuff. Say, what did you get out of this class? And then ask around. Try to find somebody like Mama. Maybe not always go with the cheapest, but do your background.
And a lot of times, I just keep it simple. I go through the book and explain it. I point out the YouTube videos they can watch that will go along with the book. Because really, all you need is the attunement. You need the attunement, then you need to study for yourself and learn the connection for yourself of what works for you.
Right, because you're only going to get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't make somebody sit there and you are going to get this out of it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. You have to have your own experience with it. The reason I got into Reiki was I remember one of my daughters, a long time ago, she was having issues, and I found out she was cutting herself. And so I took her to a therapist. And I remember sitting in the waiting room while the therapist was talking to her, and I looked over to my right, and there was a book that said Reiki on it. I was like, so that's interesting. I was into spiritual stuff then, so I'm leafing through it, and it was talking about, how it's white light energy, and it's healing energy, and it's hands-on energy, and you draw from God's source, and it comes right down through your crown chakra, and it helps you heal. I mean, it's just pure energy.
Right.
And then, that struck me. And then when I went to talking with a therapist, she was saying, now I don't want you to worry about her. She's not suicidal. A lot of times when people cut themselves, it's more common than you think, but they're doing it because they're releasing energy. They have anxiety and they're releasing energy. And so that stuck in my head when I just got done. That's all about, you got to pay attention to the synchronicities in life and the signs. I was being given a sign, and I get chills when I talk about it. And that got me thinking. So I started studying Reiki a little bit, and then it made sense. And so I went and took my classes, and I got my certificates, and I started doing Reiki and with her, and within months, completely different kid.
Good.
Completely different. And it proved to me that how healing it was, because it helps release the energy that's stuck.
Right.
It pushes white light energy, which pushes out the darkness. Energy work is very similar, except for it's not hands-on, where Reiki is directly hands-on. And when you're doing Reiki, you don't have to worry about taking on somebody else's energy, because it's white light energy, and you're just sending white light energy into somebody else's energy.
Okay.
When you're doing energy work, you're literally taking on somebody else's energy.
Okay.
Because, when I get in there, I'm working with their energy and I'm moving it around, because sometimes,
You've done it to me before.
Yeah, certain energies where it doesn't belong, and that's why people feel wonky. That's like my new word.
Wonky. I love
for
that.
The last couple days.
I love that word.
I've been using wonky a lot. I don't know why, but whatever.
Okay.
We're using wonky. So when you're feeling wonky.
I'm gonna drink this.
That's okay. I Reiki'd it. That's why it tastes so good.
I'm Reiki.
You can Reiki
That's
anything.
going on a shirt.
I Reiki'd this. Put an arrow pointing down.
Oh my God. I'm writing it down right now.
Getting sidetracked. But anyway, when you're doing energy work, you literally...
It's going to be epic. I'm making that tomorrow.
I'm going to make one too.
Take a pictures of ourselves and send it to each other.
Reiki This.
Yes. Oh, are we putting Reiki this or I Reiki this?
Both.
Both?
We can do both.
Okay.
Game on.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Okay, yeah, back to business. What are you messing around for? Being all wonky.
That's exactly it. But like energy work straight, you're getting into somebody's energy and you're drawing out energy. So there's a tendency to take on that energy too. So it's very important to protect. Mm-hmm. With Reiki, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
It's two different things. Like I've given people energy work and literally after they've left, gotten sick because they didn't protect my energy well enough, and I took on their energy and I just started throwing up.
Now, what? Okay, when you're doing energy work, normal energy work, and not Reiki, what is no? Like, okay, let's say I said, "Mama, I need some energy work." Mm-hmm. What would you do to me?
Oh.
Well. Oh, wow.
Well, like the first thing I do, like I tell everybody. I start at the crown chakra and work down all the way through the chakras, mm-hmm. which will ground your energy.
Okay.
But what I do is I go through and I draw out negative energy and blockages in each chakra.
Right.
And as I do that, it naturally grounds your energy. And then after that, I start at the root chakra, and because each chakra spins in a different direction,
right,
and a polarity to each other. Yeah. And so after I've seen which ones are blocked off or spinning in the wrong direction or not spinning at all, I start to spin the chakras in the directions they're supposed to. Right. And I do that coming up from the bottom chakra all the way to the crown, because then that raises your vibration. And then after I do that, I actually then use Reiki energy and I put white light energy into the spaces where I drew out the negative energy. Okay. And so, you know, 3 different things happen. You feel grounded. You release the blocked energy that was not serving you and holding you back and making you feel sick. But I also raised your vibration and put white light energy back in. And what's important about raising the vibration is when you do energy work and you raise your vibration that way, you naturally open up your spiritual gifts. So the more you do that kind of energy work, the more you awaken your spiritual gifts because you're raising your vibration. Okay. And you're keeping the junk out of your trunk, so to speak. Yeah. Where Reiki, that will heal you, mm-hmm. and push out the negative energy, but it's not drawn out. Okay. That's the energy worker does. They draw out. Okay. The negative energy, where the white light is just put in through the energy field and cleanses the energy. Does that make sense? Yes. It's like I used to use it was called a chakra gong meditation. And I would do that with my crystal therapy. And so I would place a crystal in each of the chakras, and I have a chakra gong meditation that I use. That takes about an hour. And while they're talking about each chakra, I would put Reiki energy into that chakra while they're talking about it, and ringing the gong. So my next goal is I want to get, they're like singing bowls. Yeah. But they're for the chakras. And they're made out of crystals. Are they different, each one? Mm-hmm. Yes, and they're different sizes. Do you guys want to hear a singing bowl? I wonder how well it'll go in there. Probably not well, but... No, I'm not going to be able to do it because you're sitting here. Close your eyes. Okay, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen happen with that. And I play around with this a lot. It made the top of my head vibrate. But I've never been able to make it go louder. It's because you're here. You did a good job. That was awesome. I'm like... don't good thing you didn't let go of it. Knock you out. Now, I can do that with wine glasses, with wine. And then people get all funny and look at me funny when I go to drink it because my finger's been in it. But I'm like, my finger's been many places. You know where your finger's been. So I do. I got no... The alcohol will kill wherever it's been. I'm just saying. That was way cool, though. Good job. It's still ringing. It is. That means we cleansed the room, right? We did. Raises the vibration. That was awesome. Daisy's probably going, oh my God. What the hell's Mom doing down there? But yeah, it's like a lot of them altogether cost like $700.
Oh my gosh.
But
can we make them?
No. But I think it would be great to be able to do the chakra gong meditation like that with each one. Because what I envision myself doing is doing the singing bowl for the crown chakra right by the head. Because it's a bigger one and it goes, it's just,
yeah.
And then putting my hand up there and drawing out the rest of that energy after breaking it up. And then adding to it, just adding to what my energy work is already, but with the chakras. I'm going to get them.
That's cool.
Gonna have to.
That's cool. Yeah, you're going to have to. I'm like, yeah, you are going to have to. When are you doing your next class?
Whenever.
You know?
Usually I just keep that open.
Okay.
Because a lot of people tend to like, one-on-one classes. So really anytime. Doesn't matter.
Oh. I'm like, how much time do you Because, I've been wanting them. And it'd be nice to have that stuff now that I'm, getting more into things. And people were asking me questions today at the shop. And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't feel like answering questions. I really didn't. I just wasn't.
In the mood.
I wasn't. I said, I'm new to a lot of this stuff. And I'm like, nope, only thing you're getting out of me is witchy shirts. I was like,
I'm into witchy shits.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. But a lot of it I do keep to myself. I don't just... Besides being a witch, I love
I can't help it, but I'm picturing I Reiki This. That's all I can see.
Okay.
That would go
if you
so well.
If you got time, I know you're busy too, we have to make those shirts tomorrow, and then we'll send each other the pictures. I'll put a thing, and then we'll put it on the paranormal page.
I Reiki This.
And then watch people order those, like, offers. I just had to order for, 100 face masks.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. But I am having them provide the mask.
But if you Reiki them, think about all the healing you would give out.
Am I raking the mask?
Yeah, you could Reiki
But I'm not doing the witchy mask.
That's okay.
Something else, but I could Reiki them. And then
you can Reiki anything. You can Reiki your food. You can Reiki your drinks. You can Reiki your microphone. You can Reiki your breastises.
I just can't even right now. I got in my brain Reikiing all sorts of things I shouldn't be Reikiing. Yes, those shirts are going to be great.
Just don't Reiki your friends.
Yeah, that never ends well. Holy shit. What a fun one. That is funny. But yes, I do want the class, and I do know Marky wants the class too.
All right. We'll just get together then. Doesn't matter when.
Okay, I'll get with her. And since now we know your prices or whatever. And if anybody's close enough or would like to travel to do it, email Mama and...
To do it?
Yeah, to do it, to get Reiki.
To do it? It sounded like you said DeWitt. I'm like, who's in DeWitt?
You're like, wait, what's happening? Turn the mic off real quick. Just email at paranormalxl@writeme.com. And we'll make that happen. She's into all sorts of stuff. I'm just sitting back and trying to learn things. And
I'm into witchy shit.
Yes, we are into witchy shit. Oh, man. My brain's been going 100 miles an hour witchy shit. I just absolutely love it. I do. I do, however, it's amazing how many people I've learned that aren't... Okay, let's take the word witch out of there. I like it because it's cliche. And I'm all about being extra when the time is right. I'm all about being extra and saying, I'm a witch. That's extra. Flaunting it like that is even more extra and awesome. However, the amount of spiritual people that are coming out.
Yes.
And it's great.
It's a great awakening.
It's just a great feeling. It's and it doesn't I don't know, a lot of people when they hear the word spiritual, they're like, oh, Satan, devil, that. Okay, first of all, what most Satanists don't even believe in the devil. Second of all, spiritual means love and light.
Yep.
They want you to be okay, and they're just out there living their best life, not going to bother you. So why bother them?
Don't confuse love and light, though, with taking people's shit.
Yeah, don't do that. Still stand your ground. But they're love and light. Like, if you're going to be mean to them and try to push that negative energy that you think that you got, and you're going to blah, blah, blah. No, they're going to push it right back to you and try to overpower that with being kind to you. They are going to kill you with kindness.
Exactly.
That's a thing.
It is.
I didn't realize it was a thing. It's an actual... I've learned that in the past year and a half. That it's a thing.
Push it back with happiness.
Mm-hmm. No, Mom did that, and now she's giving away hot dogs.
Well, I did Reiki it.
Okay, and we are done. No. So do you have anything else to add on the Reiki absent healer?
Well,
healing?
you can do long distance healing if you have somebody who is sick or has cancer, because there's Reiki symbols that you can use specifically for cancer.
Okay.
But you can get a symbol of that person, whether it's a doll, and get a picture, and you always have to get permission to heal and do Reiki. You can't just do it. And there's always a prayer you say before you do the Reiki, and then you ask, universal life force, all that is, help me draw down your energy and heal whoever it is.
Yeah.
And, you always ask them to also be open to receive and ask to receive the healing. That's the important part of Reiki.
Okay.
That's a little bit different than energy work. Of course, if you're giving energy work, you have their permission, of course, because they're laying on your table in your shop.
Right.
But you can take that doll, and after you do your ceremonial things, Reiki it like you would, a normal person.
Okay.
And send the long distance healing. So,
all right.
And you can Reiki animals, if you can get an animal to hold still long enough to do that with.
Right.
But there's all sorts of different ways to do it.
Benadryl or melatonin, they're fine.
There you go.
What? Huh.
Gummy bears.
Yeah, anyhow, Zen. I haven't said that in a long time. That's interesting. I can't wait to learn more. I'm excited to learn more.
Reiki is passed down through, many, many different generations. It started, I don't have my book in front of me, but it started, across the seas and came over to America. So it's a newer thing for, America.
Yeah. But
even the one woman who became the head Reiki master.
Okay.
She had gotten into Reiki. I think she was in Hawaii, if I remember correctly. And she was in the hospital and she was getting ready to have surgery.
Okay.
And the night before surgery, she heard it whispered, "You don't have to have surgery." And so she decided to forestall the surgery and started doing her research and found this Reiki place. And she went in there, and that's where she became a student. And she was healed. She was healed of whatever ailed her, because really the whole point of Reiki, all of our chakras, and our chakras rule different organs of our body.
Yeah.
So when our heart chakra is out, it's ruling a different organ of our body, in that general area. So if you're having ailments, clearing a chakra out and continuously cleaning it out might heal that ailment. It's learning. And, that's where it's really good about the Reiki class, because it teaches you and gives you the book that will show you which organs it coincides with.
Okay.
And by clearing out those organs and clearing out the system, you naturally heal. And it is a real thing. They've scientifically proven that it works. That's your miracle. You just, for one, just like anything, you have to believe in it.
Right.
You could be sick and just think that you're going to die, and you're going to die. But there's proven facts where people who have overcome cancer, just because they were firm in that they weren't going to die, they believed it. They had faith. Right. They healed themselves. Just positive thought can. And it's positive thought is white light energy. Yeah. And so that's, she went through all her classes, and then eventually when it was time for her master to pass away, he I don't know how to say it in the right way, not really remote viewed. She was sleeping in her bed. She woke up and he was standing at the foot of the bed. And he said, "I'm choosing to die right now, and I give the next stage to you." And if I remember correctly, he chose that was the moment he was going to die. Like, he chose to have his life force energy leave his body.
Okay, yeah.
Which is fascinating. He's
Very much so, yeah.
Because it's just energy. We're all energy.
Right.
So it makes sense that energy from our bodies could heal other people.
We just got to be willing.
You have to have an open mind to believe.
Happen. Yeah.
And so it's continuously passed on. And I do believe she might have been the one that brought it over to the United States. And then, there's two different kinds of Reiki now. It kind of split up after that. Yeah. Where, two different groups, I wouldn't call it a Reiki gang, but they did it their own way. Yeah. So to speak.
America fight it?
Kinda.
We do that. We have a tendency to do that.
To change it to fit us.
Yeah. Because we're all just a bunch of misfits in a country.
Yeah, we kind of are. I like being a misfit, though.
I do, too.
No fun being normal.
If everybody else can get their shit together, we'd be fine.
Kinda.
Stop hurting each other. Because that'd be cool.
Just do your own shit.
Yeah.
Live your own shit.
Go out, live your best life
Be
that
happy.
you can at that moment.
But
why?
Learning Reiki and doing Reiki will change your life. It'll help you heal. And, you know, the reason I enjoy giving people readings and doing energy work, because every time I heal something with them, I heal something with them myself.
Oh, right.
It's a guarantee that when I'm giving somebody a reading, there's a message in there for me. Mm-hmm. Because, like, I literally know I'm telling them something I should be telling myself. Mm-hmm. And every time I give a piece of my energy to somebody, there's a connection there that will never go away.
Right.
Because I know them now. More than just having a conversation with somebody you've known for 10 years. I've literally been in their energy. Yeah. And I know bits and pieces from their childhood and the things that have caused them pain. And I know what could help them heal. Right. And then, you know, if they ever choose it, I could do the energy work to help clear out those spaces so they can leave room for bringing in the healing energy and the good things that come from life. Because life doesn't have to be shitty and poor all the time. No, it's not always going to be great. No, but it doesn't have to be shitty.
No, because we got lessons to learn. Learning lessons generally are not fun and exciting.
Not necessarily. No.
I say most of the time they're not.
It's how you grow, though.
Yeah, exactly. What you take out of it. To me, that's what's going to depend on how much fun you're going to have from learning
and sometimes when you have that perspective that it is a spiritual lesson, it gives you a different way of approaching the problem.
I'd say, oh yeah. And I've learned that over the past year and a half. And that's not even very long. But like, versus where other little, like years ago, little things would piss me off. And I'd just be so mad. I'd be so mad at somebody. And I would hold a grudge or whatever. Now I'm like, whatever. I got to go home to my dog. And I love her so much. And I'm going to go play with her. And I just love her. And I'm like, and then I forget 5 minutes later what that person even did to piss me off.
That's right.
But because I'm happy.
Well, too, when you allow people to piss you off, you've given your energy to them. And they have control over you.
Yeah. And if somebody's pissing me off, I don't want to give them anything. And I love giving things away. But I don't want to give them my energy if they're pissing me off.
Well, it's just like, you know, if you're driving down your car, if you're driving down the road in your car, that one's better, and someone cuts you off and you spend the next 5 minutes screaming and yelling at them and cussing them out, right? You've just given all your energy away. Okay. They've taken your power, and you're going to find yourself exhausted.
That is a horrible example because I do that every Monday through Thursday between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m.
And you're tired when you get home, aren't you?
When I get home, yes. But in the morning when I get to work, I'm still tired. But I sleep drive kind of. I'm like on autopilot when I'm driving to work all that way.
You're going to say cocaine.
I'm on the cocaine. I'm not on the cocaine.
I fall asleep when I'm driving.
And I still make it to my destination.
Opposite of its job.
Moving on to something else. Whoa. All right. You got anything else to add?
Not really.
To reggae music?
I just keep picturing that shirt. I Reiki This.
We could just make that shit right now. We got everything here. All right. So, thank you for joining paranormalxl podcast. Email us at paranormalxl@writeme.com. I was going to reverse those two in my brain, and I almost stumbled.
You did good.
Oh, thanks. Sure there's nothing else you want to add?
Positive.
Yeah. That's a good ending note. Positive. There was more I wanted to put in that. So, remember, be kind, stay humble, and don't yuck someone else's yum.
Ever.